Sounds like YouTube is a better platform to run ads on. Is it hard to gain followers on YouTube compared to Twitch? It is easier to do anything on YouTube than it is on Twitch. If you want to be a successful broadcaster / broadcast streamer, you are much more likely to grow on YouTube than you are on Twitch. Much more likely. I mean, like, so like these days, if you have a choice to multi-stream, you always multi-stream. Like end of story. You never don't multi-stream. What do you think about YouTubers or streamers who say that multi-streaming splits communities? Those people fundamentally don't understand how communities work. For most of you, this will completely change your mind on how content creators work. It's gonna like blow you away. Because it took me several $1 million to learn this. Most content creators think of their community like this. So above here, can we get a larger font, please? Is the content creator. And they think that their community exists here. So here's purple, okay? This is their Twitch community. Here's red, this is their YouTube community. Here's blue, this is their Facebook community or whatever, and so on. And a content creator incorrectly sees their community as an amalgamation of this stuff that they own. Now, let me blow you away for a second here. Content creators do not have their own communities. Doesn't exist. Here's how it actually works. There are platforms. Here's YouTube. Here's Twitch. Here's Kick or what have you. And the content creator is just a person over here with cool hair. And the platforms feed in the people that watch that content creator. And that's the end of it. None of the followers or subscribers you have are yours. If you don't believe me, let's say that you're a Twitch main streamer. Go stream on Rumble. How many people will follow you? How many people will watch you? No one, right? So the problem that streamers have is that they're narcissistic. They think that they own these people, but they don't own these people. The platforms serve people that content. YouTube decides to serve content to you, the viewer, that it thinks you want to watch. And if YouTube doesn't want to serve you, you do not get seen. The platforms own everything. And as an advertiser, this is very obvious. But as a streamer, you think the world lives this way. So how does this relate to multi-streaming? Multi-streamers think that their community can get split up, but they don't have a fucking community. So if you understand the world in this way, pop quiz, what is the absolute best way to grow as a content creator? The absolute best way to grow as a content creator is to be a part of as many platforms as possible. So have as many people be able to potentially view your stream as possible. Does that make sense? And so the reason why all content creators, or not all, but like the ones that like are wrong about it, like even very prominent content creators say, don't multi-stream, it splits up your community, is because they don't fundamentally understand that this is like content creators don't own the game. It's the platforms that own the game. They always have. If you get shadow banned on a platform, you're donezo. Like, look at what happened to the content creators that got shadow banned on platforms. They don't exist. And like how many of those people successfully transitioned to creating their own website where people consume their stuff? It's like almost impossible. The problem is that once you understand this concept, so people are using a streamer like Destiny as an example. Guys, where did Destiny build his audience? It wasn't on his website. It was on the platforms that allowed him to do it. And so now he has DGG because he is working off of the proactive work that he did in the past. Do you think that Destiny would remain relevant for the next 5 years if he wasn't on YouTube and he was banned on all further platforms? Do you think that he could survive on a platform with no discovery like Rumble? He still needs a platform to survive. His existence is dependent on YouTube right now. In all cases, you've got to understand the platforms own everything. It's by design. The idea that you are multi-streaming and fracturing a community implies that you have a community to split. When in reality, what you should be doing is you should be maximizing the inputs here. You should have TikTok. You should have Rumble. You should have as many different potential inputs to be discovered as you want. Guess who else, other than the platform, there's one other person that owns the streamer. Does anyone know who it is? It's you, the user. And guess what? Do you decide to watch a broadcaster based on them, or do you find that broadcaster based on a previous affiliation to a platform? So before a user makes a choice to watch a broadcaster, they make a choice to use a platform. There are some people right now that are watching on YouTube, and there are some people that are watching on Twitch. If the platform drops the person, then most likely the majority of people who favor using that platform will not follow that broadcaster to another platform, which is why you see numerous times a broadcaster who leaves Twitch and then picks up like literally 10 10% of the audience, if that, on another platform. Again, if you understand that, and you understand that users, the second most important part of this equation, the first one is the platforms, the second most important part of this equation is the users. If the users are making a choice about where to live, then you as a content creator are best off trying to get in front of as many places where those users live as possible. So again, the answer is exactly the same. You want to maximize the number of people that can possibly view your stuff. You want to syndicate everywhere. You want to be on TikTok. You want to be on YouTube Shorts. You want to be on YouTube. You want to be on Twitch. You want to be everywhere. The best thing you can do as a content creator is not be narcissistic and not realize that the world doesn't revolve around you. The world doesn't revolve around you at all. Nothing revolves around you. The content creator is the weakest part of any equation. They exist only to feed the platform more fuel for you to watch. They're the lowest part of the totem pole. They control the least stuff. They make the least decisions. They don't do anything. If you understand that, then you should do two things. One, you should do things that make the platform the happiest, and you should do things that make the users the happiest. Obviously, what makes the users happiest? Be in the places they want to watch you. Provide them entertainment in the places they want to watch you, in the most amount of those places possible. Simple. All of the people that say multi-streaming is bad just fundamentally don't understand multi-streaming or business. Don't listen to streamers for streaming advice, because the only thing that they can give you is their context individually on how they succeed. I always hate when the people are like, oh, like this broadcaster who has like 500,000 subscribers or whatever, like is telling me how to grow. Okay, two problems with that, right? First of all, that person may have known how to grow at 0 to 100 viewers, but they're not there now. So like the principles that they have to have that would apply to you are not the problems that they're worrying about. That content creator is dealing with a totally different situation that is only from their own individual perspective. So the reason I can tell you this stuff works is because I run advertising across thousands of influencers. But you don't want to listen to people that have data with a verified user base of 1, right? Like they're just wrong. And look at all of the Twitch streamers who are like multi-streaming is bad, and now they're multi-streaming. But you don't need the data if you understand the world in this way. If you understand that you as a content creator are entirely irrelevant, like you don't matter whatsoever. And then you might say like, oh, like that's a destructive way of thinking about the world. No. That's an enlightening way of thinking about the world. That wakes you up, because once you realize that you have no real control over your audience and you have no real control over like what your users decide, that's when you realize the only thing that I can individually control is doing my best work at any given moment on as many platforms as possible.